Can't judge a book by its cover, but when it comes to us, this is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot. Es verdad, hay gente que no quiere verme respirar. Es verdad, pues de color me quiero fichar. Si nos unimos la voz se va a acabar. Y si hablamos claro, la cosa se va a arreglar. No nos vamos a dejar, no vamos a tolerar. Sabe que no se acaba toda la injusticia. Yo quiero ser libre, yo quiero ser libre. Si somos de alto calibre, de toda bala que Dios me libre. Don't get it twisted, no matter if you Spanish or English. The targets are endless. This way I draw the line. Being disrespected and harassed all the time. Can't even wear a hoodie when it's cold outside. Black and brown homies is what they wanna divide from the other side. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot.
Fear and paranoia no longer an excuse. Before they can act, we end the abuse. Until those with guns learn to act with grace, we watch their every move, we show up and we face the reality we live, the right to stop and search. But we change the game, strip their rights to hurt. Families torn apart at the seams. If one man falls, we lose an entire army.
They still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot. This is true. This is true. This is true. This is true. We got our hands up, they still gon' shoot.
Love is a risk, and life's about chances. She like to take trips. I like how she dances. The world is an oyster. Today is a canvas. Tomorrow isn't promised. And yesterday vanished. I'll never know what to say. I'll never know what to say until one day I found out everything's a game. Shout it out quick, but you don't got the answers, and that's okay. There's no rainbow, we ain't on Saturn. Let's take a trip and meet the Mad Hatter. Gravity stops and we start to float. You holding on a tree, but I think you should let go. And we're gonna go where we do not know, and come back better than we were before. I'll never know what to say. I'll never know what to say until one day I found out everything's a game. I know it's easy to forget, to live each day your very best, but I can't live with regrets because I won't forget. So I'ma be right here living for the moment, live for the day. I don't care about after, cause in the end it really doesn't matter. Today begins.
Hello, hello, hello. Yes. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, it's here. Today is the day. I know. But guess what? We're going to take about 20, 30 minutes and we just going to take a step back from everything that's going on around us in these United States of America. And we're going to take a trip to South America. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy this trip. We have to step away sometimes from everything that's going on and just have a little bit of fun. Couple of announcements. So, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Definitely, if you're not already following me, make sure you follow me on Instagram because you know this new generation, Gen Zers, Gen Zers, they like TikTok, they like Instagram, they like all of that. So King has decided he want to chop it up on Instagram. So look, when the babies want to do it, we gonna rock it out with them. Y'all know I try to hold on to my youth, but I still like this platform. But absolutely, we're gonna rock it out with King over on IG tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. However, tonight, like I said, we are taking a trip, and we literally are taking a trip. So the gentleman that is coming to the platform is a significant young man. Lord, he has been out here for a minute. He still look good, but he been out here for a minute, and he has been an artist. He has been a model. He's a motivational speaker, humanitarian. I mean, he does so many different things. But what we're going to do tonight is we are going to allow him the opportunity to just take a stroll down memory lane with us and tell us all about who he is. Mr. Robert Thorn the third. What's up?
What's going on?
Oh, you chilling, you chilling. So, Mr. Thorn, tell everybody who you are, sugar.
Now, Robert Thorn, born and raised in North Carolina, but grew up in Japan. So at the end of the day, I consider myself a world citizen. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, so we gotta go back because you grew up in North Carolina. What was that like?
I didn't really grow up there. I was born there.
So you spent a little bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, I spent some summers. North Carolina is a beautiful place. The energy there was great. I believe that it's a root for a lot of great individuals. If you look back, there's a lot of wonderful people that were raised there, from Michael Jordan onward. You know, a lot of people have roots. They go back to the Carolinas, and I'm one of those individuals. So it's a blessing to still, say that I was born in North Carolina.
Yes. All right. Now, okay, so growing up in Japan, now your mom did your mom serve our country or did she just work for a federal agency?
So my mom was a Department of Defense school teacher. She started out in Pickett in Lexington, North Carolina, as a school teacher. She was actually the first Moorish woman, or some people, that still say Black or African American. She was one of those individuals who was the first to be accepted in the Dodds out of North Carolina. And when she applied and was accepted, she also taught Japanese businessmen and women, on international business and learning how to speak English. So she was in Nagishi, in Yokohama, and then we ended up in Yokosuka Naval Base, Japan.
Wow. Now, Robert, before you got into like music and stuff, didn't you model?
I did.
Ah,
Yeah, I model for. I was actually the only brother model or Moorish child that modeled for a lady by the name of Glenn. She had her own agency out of Lexington, and yeah, it was a great experience. I was making good money being a child, modeling with Hanes and Oshkosh and different companies like that sell kids clothing. So it was a
okay,
blessing.
okay.
Yeah.
Now, so born in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We transitioned over to Japan.
Right.
We kind of got in the swing of things over there. And when you got to Japan, something started to come from here.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you start doing in Japan with this voice?
So, singing was never something that I expected to be doing at that point in my life. And my mother was actually the one who influenced me because she had a group by the name of Harmony. And her group in Japan, they used to do a whole bunch of tours. And I was always obviously with my mother when she was touring and, working in studios. And she had a situation with Jet Sonic Productions, which was signed to Sony. And through that, she ended up getting a deal for an animation series. The series was about these singing cats that a homeless guy had found, and it was a cool little cartoon, but we didn't expect the cartoon to do so well, and it became something that you saw every Saturday on TV. I think it had about 4 or 5 different seasons. And it was a great experience just learning from her. And through learning from her, it kind of motivated me to dig within the same bloodline and, start singing. So through singing, it led me to other situations outside of just acting and modeling. And it put me in a lot of different positions that led up
And
to.
so you played in a film in Japan though, right?
Yeah, I played in MacArthur's Children in Japan.
Okay.
Baseball film. Yeah. So we got to do that, and while doing that, it was my first time having an agent because my mother was my initial agent when I was in Lexington. So in having an agent by the name of Winky White, it opened up a door. With that door being open, I ended up signing to a company, IMO agency, and started doing a whole lot of different projects from, different modeling projects to fashion shows, print. And it went from being a child into a teenager, being in high school and still, getting compensated for, doing those things as well.
Now, so we talked about, I'm not going to say baby Robert, but we talked about toddler Robert. We talked about teenage Robert.
Right.
So now we got to talk about when Robert became this man and he just broke into this industry and just took over.
Want to take over?
I mean, because you really, you stepped out. You stepped out and you started doing the daggone thing. So now it's your time. Talk to us really about, kind of how you broke into the industry and what it looked like for you.
Growing up in Japan, during that era between the 80s and early 90s, being someone of my melanin complexion, we were really looked at as individuals who, spawned the entertainment business. So it was really easy to break into the field. During that time, Japanese people were just in awe about anything that came from our culture. So it was to my benefit. And, like I said, watching my mother and other individuals that my mother allowed me to call my older brothers, if you will, that took me out and, showed me the lay of the land and started teaching me how the business game really worked. I was able to, make a really good decision. That decision was, why not? Why not go for this? Why not go for that? So I went for everything. And I never stopped going for everything. And I always believed that the impossible doesn't exist. And anybody who says it's not possible, maybe that's not possible for them. And I never considered anything to be not possible for me. So through that methodology, I was able to just, get my feet wet by being humble. One of the main things that I learned from the beginning is I know nothing. I still don't know anything. I always just look to learn and approach any individual that had been and still is in a higher position than me in a humble manner and speaking toward just learning. And through that methodology, I excelled. I was 14 years old at my first deal with Soul For Real. through the agency with Daniel Brooks, Tone One Productions, KSR Records in Yokohama, Japan. Daniel Brooks was bringing different artists into the country, and with me working with him, I was a runner at first. So you hear like a lot of people, you know, like they say, oh, yo, I used to carry crates and I used to do this, that, and the third in New York. And the Chris Lighty stories and so on and so forth. And I literally lived that while I was in high school. Okay. And through that energy, a big situation came across where in 1996, Mariah Carey was coming to Japan for the Dream Day tour. And I was an individual selected to be a part of that. And that was a big blessing. With learning, from that experience, it opened up a lot of doors with me with Sony, and it opened a relationship with Tommy Mottola and a couple other individuals. And, it was just, never looking at everything just from one standpoint. Oh, I want to be an artist. It was just keep my mind open, because one of the main things that attracted me was just when you're 14, turning 15 years old, and you're in Tokyo Dome, and you got 55,000 people screaming and hollering for Mariah, but yet they're also screaming and hollering for you too, because you're a part of the whole situation. It kind of just changes your mind to make things feel like everything is not a dream, everything is reality. Mm-hmm. So stepping through that reality and not having any fear, that's what has kept me still to this day, going forth in anything that I believe that could be any sense of my reality. And later I realized, it's not only about me, it's my obligation to my bloodline, my ancestry, and the youth.
Guys, if you're just checking in, we are chopping it up with Robert Thorn III, and you can check him out at rt3.world. All right. When I think about the things that you've done and the things that you're doing, because guys, see, y'all still don't know what he's doing. I'm not gonna let him tell y'all what he got going on until I want him to tell you. But let's still slow up, because you worked in Miami for a bit and Atlanta, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And you work with some artists that we know very, very well, and you were very influential in some music climbing the Billboard charts out here. And then you did a lot. So talk to us a little bit about a couple of those situations.
I always like playing the Jerry Maguire film. I love that movie. And for me, it was never about me, myself, and my brand trying to be in the spotlight. It was always about putting energy into someone that I say had the blue light. And the blue light represents someone that has the it factor. And through those individuals and being a part of those management groups, from, the Soulja Boys, with Miami Mike to, onward to, onward toward the Luke Nasty's, it's really a situation where I played my lane, and I just went through the ropes, and I felt like to grow, to become a record executive, you need to walk through every step meaning you need to know sound, light, you need to know how to contract, how to do contracting. So therefore you need to either go to school or spend a lot of time with a lot of attorneys. And booking, learning booking. You have to learn every aspect of that business in order to claim yourself as a record executive.
Why are you telling? Why are you doing this right now? Like, you shouldn't be telling, because you got me sitting here like, I don't feel like learning all of this stuff. I just look, all I want to do is what I want to do.
For me, I don't see how anyone can claim to be something without going through the steps. And you have a lot of what younger people may consider to be dinosaurs. You cannot disrespect the individuals who set the stage for where we are today and what we are able to do in this business. So out of the respects for those individuals, you humble yourself and you go through those same ropes. And going through those same ropes, like, you learn. And through those learning, scenarios, you grow. And with your growth, you're able to inspire other individuals. For instance, like I was saying, with someone like Luke Nasty, who I signed when he was 15 years old, you know, he didn't get the first hit record might be until he was like 24. So it was a process, but through that process, we got results. And it was about honesty, tranquility. It was about me having ownership of who I was and being able to, you know, deal with my goods, my bads, my ups, my downs, and give that same information to someone who was younger than me, and then to watch them, you know, grow, you know, that's a blessing. Because I know I'm a part of that, and I root for that, just like every other individual that I've ever worked with. You know, for me, like when I look back and I think about little things like Soulja Boy, you know, when Soulja Boy didn't have the outlet for the concept of, you know, the Baby Nate shoes, I was someone who brought up Korea and, you know, other outlets that he could utilize to get, you know, the material done. And the shocker for me, even with that individual, was like the engulfing that he had of the people. I looked at him as like a little young Michael Jackson. Like he had the people, he had the girls, you know, they were going crazy over him. And I was just wowed by that. So it's a journey, it's an adventure, but it's not just my journey, it's a sharing journey with other spirits.
Okay, all right. Now, your record label, Nimbus Universal Records. What's the mission and vision behind Nimbus?
Nimbus started out as a group of military employees, if you will, some intelligence. And we all started in Bahrain. Bahrain is an island off the coast of Saudi Arabia. And we came together, and you know, we were doing parties and different events and things of that nature. And you know, everybody was like, yo, let's go ahead and get into the music world. So, you know, being that I'd already had a background in the music world, I led that operation, and you know, we went forward. So we started getting different artists and trying different projects. And this is still during the time where there was no Facebook, there was no Instagram. So everything, you know, we invested in was trial and error. And, you know, we built the corporation. And through building that, you know, we made a lot of different changes based on what was going on with new age music. So what I decided to do in 2013 was to change Nimbus from being a open label, meaning we're accepting all genres of music, where, you know, for me, if you're going to be a real record label, you have to have distribution. So the fortunate thing was my background, you know, with different companies like Executive Music Group, which was under Universal Records. We had a group by the name of the Dirty Heads who had broke out with a record called Lay Me Down. One individual who used to work at Fontana Ingrews by the name of Ghazi. Ghazi had this idea to make a company called Empire. And I was on the phone with Ghazi and Waleed Coyote out of Greensboro, North Carolina, Others Records.
Shout out Waleed.
Shout out Waleed. Throw your O's up. So it was crazy because it was like, yo, Ghazi got this idea with this distribution platform. It's going to be crazy. So I went on and signed up in 2013. And, you know, with signing up with Ghazi, I started really looking at where music was going and having people like Steve Garza that was, you know, a PD at iHeartRadio and all these other, you know, individuals that inspired me. And it was like, look, music is going in a different direction. You got the hip hop, you got the R&B, but this electronic music, this is going to be the thing that takes it to another level. So Nimbus Universal Records became a electronic record label. And, you know, we've had a lot of releases, a lot of different people, but the main thing that happened with Nimbus Universal Records, we partnered with Iris Promotions. Iris Promotions, owned by Glenn Goodhand, great guy, my brother. He wanted to get into the festivals, and he looked at Tomorrow World. He was like, Tomorrow World came to Atlanta, and you know, it was amazing. But I really feel with what I know and what community I represent from Atlanta, with all the talent in Atlanta, with all the DJs in Atlanta, we can do something magnificent. So Imagine Festival came about 2013. Yeah, it was the first Imagine Festival.
Okay.
In Birmingham, Alabama, and we lost our ass off, but came back in 2014 in Atlanta, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 in the green. Imagine Festival, 6+ stages, amazing. You can compare it to Tomorrow World, but it's still A-Town.
Mhm.
And so Nimbus Universal, it had a lot of different transitions between, oh, we're going to be a hip hop label. Oh, we're going to do hip hop and R&B. Oh, we're going to be open to top 40. And then we just went electronic. And, as of today, I kind of sit back like Diddy does with Bad Boy. It's just when situations look right, we support something, and maybe we don't even put our name on it, but we invest into, that particular artist or, that project.
Robert Thorn the third, RT3, baby. So, all right, now we're gonna really jump out there. All right,
Okay, there we go.
I'll let you tell them now. Where are you right now?
I'm currently in Medellin, Colombia. Yeah.
Why?
Truth. I wanted to be free.
Mm.
I wanted to be free. I'm blessed because of the support that I have from my brothers, but more from my ancestors, and more than that from my mother. And when we look at true wisdom is a continuation of learning and elevation of self, and looking at where things are going and the way the world is now. It took about 8 years in the process to make a decision to even come out here. It was my birthday, September 23rd, 2018. I was like, yo, we're gonna go to Dominican Republic, and we're gonna pop bottles like we do in the A, we're gonna turn up and all that. And then I just started learning and reading more, and it was like, well, there's so many people that influence the Dominican Republic that come from America. What's another place that we can just add our brand to, and we can just put, our energy in? And Colombia popped up. So, me and my brother Joseph Stewart decided to come out here. And as soon as we landed, it was just like the air, just breathing the air was just like, yo. So we went to Guadalupe, and when I got to Guadalupe, I was like, yo, I'm gonna die here. I'm dying in Colombia. And some people are like, whoa, what you mean when you die? Well, dying is an embracement, because it's another form of life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I made the decision that I really wanted to embrace the culture and be a part of the community of Colombia and, South America. And making that decision, riding through Guadalupe to come to Medellin, we live inside of a crater. So we're below, and there's nothing but mountains around us. And the view alone is breathtaking. The food, the people, the energy, the vibration, the no racism. It's a hustle city. So everything that I felt from Atlanta, this was like the real new Atlanta. This was like, we can really get it in here, however we want to get it in without any matrix. Like there's no one that we have to answer to. There's no color, if you will, that you have to say you have to be a part of or look alike. None of those things exist. The people here are our actual bloodline people. If you share my bloodline being Cherokee, Blackfoot, and obviously I have African roots. So, coming from that Kemet look, it's like, you got South America and then you have Africa, Kemet. When you look at the borders, it's like, obviously everybody was already intertwining and trading back in history. So our people, they were already doing business and they were already living in South America, and they elevated upward. So, I'm looking at the history of it and I'm like, yo, this makes a lot of sense. So the first thing I did, me and my brother, we formulated a company out here. And it went from formulating one company to now we're up 5 businesses, which is a blessing. And it's like, it's so easy. I believe we try so hard. And I've had a lot of businesses in Atlanta and North America. We try so hard to reach our internal goals of what we want to achieve. But sometimes there always seems to be a ceiling. And there are different reasons why that ceiling may exist. But when I felt the sense of freedom here, it was like, yo, I'm going to be here. We're going to do what we do. And we're going to represent for our cultures. We're going to represent for the way our mothers raised us, our fathers raised us, our culture. And I'm not going nowhere. It's a beautiful place, and you can really advance here. And so, yeah, for my lineage, that's why I'm here. For my bloodline, that's why I'm here.
Wow. So Robert, we're gonna begin to wrap up because we gotta get prepared for what's next. But we're gonna talk about what's next for you, and then maybe we'll talk to the people about what's next for the collective soon. But what's next for you,
Right.
Mr. Robert Thorn III?
Well, I launched Rob Rose, and I've always been a fan of Diddy with Diddy's business moves and the 50 cents of the world. But I also have to pay tremendous, homage to my president, Tupac Shakur, and the building of brands and the longevity of lineage. And being that I've traveled to so many different countries in my life, Tupac, even though a lot of people don't speak English in certain countries that I've been to, they know who Tupac Shakur is. And it's always been something for me to turn around and be able to put my energy amongst the greats. So what I've launched is Rob Rose, which behind that is the Rob Rose clothing brand, the Rob Rose fragrance, which leads into Rob's Roses, which is a lot of female influencers. That we have another clothing line, we have another fragrance, and a couple other secrets that I won't reveal right now. But at the
That's
end
right.
of the day, it's all positive. It's all
They ain't gotta know. They gonna find out. They gonna find out. They gonna find out. I'm trying to get ready for Columbia and everything. I'm getting ready for Columbia.
Oh yeah, you're already welcome. Like I told you many
I'm
times,
getting ready for Columbia. I told them.
One thing I will say, Nah.
I said, I already told them.
One thing I will say is
we're not gonna get stuck though. Like I'm gonna have to.
Nah,
for 3 days.
But them 3 days, you ain't gonna want to go nowhere. But no, I will say this though. I am proud. I am proud of my people. There's been an increase in just having passports. That's a whole nother conversation. But Black travel movement on Facebook, like there's been a lot of our people that have been moving around and going to different countries and looking at the world and saying, hey, you may have been raised in North America and you may have roots in North America, but you have to remember one thing: we are a global people. Absolutely. And it's nothing like going to touch other land that your ancestors stepped in to go pay homage to those same steps and really understanding that it's a whole world out there for you. And what I'm doing is not for me. What I'm doing is really for the youth. I have a big plan to build a school out here, re-education for our youth. And, I ain't going to go into all that. I know we don't have a lot of time, but at the end of the day, my biggest thing is to just show and not talk. This walk in the steps.
And we absolutely will have time. We have a lot more time than the people think we have. But like I said, we got it. We got it. Robert, please let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
At official Rob Rose on Instagram, Robert Thorn III on Facebook, www.rt3.world. And that is my website. So yeah.
rt3.world. Boom. And you see it right there. And so, Robert, thank you. And I don't need to say thank you a third time because
thank you.
Because it's already we already know what's next. They don't know what's next, but we know what's next. So well, thank you once again, Robert. And
people, keep your energy up, stay blessed. At the end of the day, we got the soulful world and we got the matrix. So it's a lot going on today. It's a lot going on in the next couple hours. A lot of things to change. But at the end of the day, keep your star player in line and elevate.
Hey, elevate. Yes. Look, raise the roof like we back in the daggone 90s for real. I'm dating myself, right? All right. So what we will do is we're definitely going to bring you back, but you already know what capacity you're coming back is, and I can't wait to let the world know. So Robert Thorn III, thank you so much.
And thank you, Queen.
And I'll see you later. Night. Guys, once again, that's Robert Thorn III. If you don't know who he is, Google him, look him up. You definitely want to know who he is. But what we're going to do is this. So, don't forget, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me ASAP. Sanaj Consulting Express. That's Express without the E. It's just XPRESS. And tomorrow at 2:30 p.m., we'll rock it out with King on Instagram Live. Once again, you know these Gen Zers, they love Instagram. This is more my speed. Y'all know I'm trying to catch up, but I'm kind of dated here, right? But yeah, come on over to Instagram Live. I'll rock it out with him for a little while on Instagram Live. We'll turn up. You'll get to hear from King Kid, and we'll just keep it rocking like that. So if y'all don't know what time it is, I'm about to finish watching. Yeah, y'all already know. So look, get your glass of wine, whatever it is you need to relax, and let's just see how this thing play out. All right, everybody, it's your girl Lily Mae. Happy election night, and have a great